it as like, what a great build this is. You know, how do you beat Marauder Hellion? And then it just kind of never went anywhere. Occasionally you'd see a game where it worked pretty well, but it was never a dominant strategy.
Yeah, well, unless it was in the hand of Paul, because Paul played some sick games with it, certainly against Stefano. That made me actually really fall in love with this threat. Not necessarily because I love it so much from Terran, but more because of the action it created in the TVZ games. And the Paul Stefano series back then at Lone Star Clash 1 is some of the best StarCraft I've ever seen in my life, and that was with Marauder Hellion.
Yeah, I love that rivalry, man. I remember casting them running up against each other at Assembly. I think it was Assembly 2012, and it was just phenomenal. It was a fantastic finals as a direct result, and I think by the end of it, it was interesting to watch because everyone started by rooting for Stefano against the Korean, and then by the end of it, everyone was just cheering for Pulp because he put on such a great caliber of play, and he was so fantastic on stage as well, so that was really cool to watch, man.
We can see right now already what I mentioned a little bit earlier. It's just a little harder here for Zerg to go completely uncontested up to 60, 62 drones. He has to worry about what's going on. That was a beautiful scout, by the way, in the right bottom side. Not only did he see those additional Hellions, but he saw Marauder shots as well. He saw another Marauder behind this. So Kane kind of knows, like, okay, I saw at least one Marauder, but I see a lot of Hellions as well. He saw more Hellions at home. So he's not going to go up super greedy. Even though he's on 50 drones right now, he's making 6 more. But I think after this, we're going to see him create some additional units. Because, hey, this first push is almost coming. The first 2 medevacs are almost out on the map. And this is a nasty push, man.
Yeah, if this can actually hit before upgrades, it's definitely going to hit before we even see Baneling speed because of the lair was pretty late there. You know, it's a 9-minute lair. So you're not going to be seeing Baneling speed on the map. This could be pretty potent.
It's all going to come down to those Baneling connections. He's going to need some massive connections. He's making more Banelings, but right now, 20 links and 15 Banelings could potentially be enough, but it all comes down to the splits, all comes down to the connections. There are a lot of more links on the way, though, so if Masa really wants to commit, he's going to have to do it real soon.
Yeah, certainly. The longer he waits, the worse this gets, really. Spire is now coming down for Kane, adding on the 2 additional gas as well, so he will look to transition there. Of course, Marauder Hellion is absolutely dreadful against Spire play, but the point is it's supposed to hit before it comes out, and Masa right now is not really getting anywhere.
But he did force out way more units than he did on Whirlwind. And sure, Kane's economy is good. Right now he's 56, 57 drones, but it's also not like he's on 68 already. So
yeah,
it's definitely doing something.
+2 melee and Baneling speed. So, I mean, that's a huge amount of gas that he's invested. His muta count is not going to be anywhere near as big as it would have been.
No, exactly. That's one of the things that Masa achieved with this. Armory is going down as well, second engineering base is going down, so he can start 2-2 pretty much immediately. His upgrades, of course, will be slightly slower than one of his opponents, but that's not the end of the world.
No, it's not. I think that there are times when people perhaps overestimate the importance of the upgrades there, as long as they're mostly on par with your opponent. Or you can use them as part of a timing, that's always good, but they're definitely not the be-all and end-all.
No, I mean, as long as Masa prevents to take a fight, like right before 2-2 is ready, he should be more than fine. We see one Viking on the north side of the map working on a couple of Overlords. I like that, just making it a little bit easier for him later on to drop and making it harder for Kane to spot those drops. But I have to admit, Kane's murderless movement across around the map is actually really damn sexy, so it's hard to drop him regardless he has vision of the drops or not.
That's very true, yeah. And I like pretty much any Terran player that does this, simply because it's such a cheap thing to do. If you can afford to squeeze a Viking out instead of a medevac at a critical point in the game, and just start to kill those Overlords, not only are you costing your opponent money, but you're just denying him scanning information. You're also making him a bit paranoid. You're saying, why are you taking Overlords out on this side of the map? What do you got planned? What's coming this way?
Exactly. I also like that Kane already got Overlord speed really quickly, so he actually kept 1 or 2 Overlords alive, making it a lot harder. And the Mutalisks were supposed to take care of that Viking, but they actually didn't find it, I believe. Anyways, we see lots of links and Banelings. Seems like they're kind of ready for action, while the Mutalisks are on the south side of... No, actually, those are just Overlords. Where are those Mutas? Oh, they're just hovering above the army. Yeah,
they're just chilling right now. They're just pretending to be overseers, just keeping an eye on the army, make sure it's fine.
Man, overseers that can shoot, that's a bad idea, Totalbiscuit.
Hey, they used to be able to spawn infested Terrans, man. They're probably David Kim's best balanced idea in StarCraft 2 history.
That sounds terrible.
It was. Thankfully, it didn't last very long, but my god, was that a terrible time.
Kane, once more, just really not committing with his Mutalisks. He's just keeping it in defensive position. He's just, alright, as long as I don't take any crucial damage, I am going to be fine. If you just take a look at the map vision that Kane has right now, if you select Kane, you press V, he sees almost everything. That's just beautiful army positioning all around the map.
Interesting flank being set up here. You can see that to the side, a lot of banelings being spawned. And if Masa commits too much to that, he could end up getting hit, but he's too smart for that.
It seems like Masa is a lot better prepared this time. You see a middle mine behind all the supply depots. If Kane is not careful, which I guess he will be, even though the banelings are going in first, Totalbiscuit.
Oh man. Keeping an eye on this. If this connects with the banelings, they're going in first. This is so risky. Oh, and off it goes. And a few. Oh, there we go. The Widow Mine cleans up the rest of them. But there's a couple of banelings to follow that up. That was not the best I've ever seen, but those SCVs are still going to take some damage. Here it is. There's the big engagement. Huge amounts of banelings coming in, just obliterating that first force there. And the second one is not going to stand up to that. Another great connection. Master is out of there immediately. Kane is all over that third.
And yeah, Kane is still over the third as well. This is just insane. He keeps doing this, and it's not that the Terran players are making big mistakes, not splitting their army correctly. It is just so hard to look at multiple occasions at once. There is a drop going on in the main base, actually. Didn't spot that one immediately, taking out a couple of drones, but not all that many. Now he's working on quite a few links. But still, Kane is doing that so well, always forcing his opponent to look somewhere else. And right when they do, he flies in with all the links and the banelings and just gets massive connections on the main push, and he just completely obliterates it.
What I'm really surprised by here is how well Masa actually defended his economy. There's only been 3 workers killed, which is incredible considering. That was a lot of banelings invested, and it didn't kill the third base. It killed like a supply depot or 2, and killed 2 workers. That was actually a pretty bad attack, all things considered, by Kane. He invested a lot, didn't really gain much. He did get that big connection on the army and definitely stopped the push, but Masa's macro is great, and he's already back up there, and continues to push with his upgrades. He's on 2-1 right now, which is decent enough against what Kane's got, which is 2-2.
And the good thing is that Masa is actually going up to 4 bases right now, something he was never even close to being able to achieve, and Whirlwind.
Another drop comes in. Masa is just going
banelings
to
as
tickle
well.
his opponent. Here it comes, yeah, another baneling flank. There is no Widow Mine this time around, so this could do a lot more.
Oh, those SCVs are so exposed.
They are so dead, it's not even funny. That was just awful to watch, man. Every one of them died, but Master's just like, you know what, I'm going to pressure your base. I'm going to just take your base out here. I'm okay with this. He has a lot of Widow Mines. This may very well kill the banelings, and that... Oh, big hits!
Sick hit right there by those Widow Mines. All of the banelings and links just die immediately, and he knows that he's going to have to retreat. He's meatless for now. If Master takes out the 4th base of Kane, then we got a real game on our hands.
That we do. Yeah, losing the mineral line and losing a 3rd is pretty bad, but he's already got a 4th base down at the bottom here. Down goes that 4th as well for Kane.
Sickly played there by Master, doing it so well, setting up really good splits and actually being able to defend the majority of the links and banelings for now. But hey, he's not out of there yet.
Nope.
Hello, a lot of links, a couple of Mutalisks, taking some hits from the Widow Mines.
Gotta watch out for that. Another one goes in, and those Widow Mines are well placed. Drilling claws as well. We're seeing a lot more Terran players use it. Whoa, that was huge. Whoa, that was a lot of banelings that just went down there. Kane is bleeding on supply hard right now. Master is playing a fine game of StarCraft.
He is. He adjusted so well from game number 1. He realized immediately what went wrong. He wasn't able to deal with all those counterattacks. And in game number 2 is just a whole new Master we see already. That actually shows marks of a great player, that he's just able to adjust so quickly to his opponent's style.
Very, very true. Master is bleeding his opponent dry here. A couple of decent hits with the banelings, but at the end of the day, Master can afford to take those. Ooh, that was dicey. Master's Marines somehow lived through that. There's no where the Widow Mines. He doesn't have any Widow Mines. He's got to get over that Widow Mine, and that detonation actually hits the Marines and not the banelings. And there's a quick evacuation there by Master, but more detonations going off, and Kane defending hard here. Now is the supply lead again, and suddenly the momentum swings right back in his favor.
Yeah, sickly well done by Kane now as well, forcing most of the Marines and Marine Marauders and most of these medevacs as well to retreat. He picked up a lot of medevacs in the process. He still has so many links and banelings over here. He's going to swarm around this bio army again. God, I guess Masa's wondering, where do you get all these units from?
Well, the big problem Master's got right now is that large Widow Mine count that he had in the drilling claws isn't relevant anymore. It's all dead. He doesn't have any Widow Mines left. And as a result...
12 Marines.
This is getting messy, man. He could lose right here. +3's about to kick in. He tries to get a Widow Mine in place. Probably going to end up kills more Marines and SCVs than anything else. Master GG's. Kane just explodes out of nowhere. What an incredible performance.
Sick. Losing your 4th base. Masa setting himself up so well at the 3rd. A couple of banelings just wiggled in. I was kind of questioning that move for a second. I was like, I don't think they're going to be able to achieve a lot. But actually took out a fair amount of Marines. And after that, Kane just swarmed with links, banelings, just wave after wave. And most of the Widow Mines were on cooldown. and he's just able to straight up counter and win. Sick macro by Kane, man. I can't believe where he gets all those units from.
Yeah,
Must be spot on with his injects.
It's incredible. Like that's a lot of poison to fire there. He just pulls that out of nowhere, and suddenly it's like, oh, Master's winning, but no, whoops. Great engagement, and funnily enough, I think it all comes down to the fact that the first engagement was done with like 8 Widow Mines in place, right? So Banelings were getting killed by Widow Mines left, right, and center. The problem with Widow Mines killing Banelings is it often kills a Widow Mine as well, because the Baneling detonation kills it under the ground. And the second engagement, there were barely any Widow Mines, and the only one that was there connected with the Marines, and not the Banelings. And then that surround came in and just, wow, he just fired out on all pistons there. That was really impressive.
I mean, looking back at it, it's always easy to say that, hey, after killing that fourth base, why didn't you just retreat? He took out a lot of drones. He took out a couple of drones in the main base as well. He was doing everything right. But I cannot blame him for sticking around because, hey, you want to keep the pressure on. There's no need letting this go into a super long game and letting him, like, reestablish his economy. Because then later on, it could be a lot harder to potentially snipe that fourth base again. So I can understand why Massa stick around. But I guess, needless to say, it was the wrong decision because Kane just had an insane amount of larvae somehow, some way, and kept a lot of Banelings and Zerglings alive from the previous fight. Man, he's playing well, man. He's really looking like... I mean, we kind of said, or at least, yeah, in the start of the show today, that Kane is probably the favorite to make it out. But man, he definitely showed why in these first 2 games.
Yeah, I believe the hype now, definitely. Kane is playing just some phenomenal StarCraft, and Massa was definitely no easy opponent, and yet he was able to just take him to pieces, and that counter-attack was just so aggressive, just swinging back there. It was incredible to watch.
Sexy play indeed.
It's what we like to see, man. It's what we like to see. So, we might see some sexy play, of course, from Suppy, currently considered to be one of the best in America, versus Hello Kitty, an upstarted, known as a cheesy player, but also known as a player that prepares a lot for his opponents with some unusual builds. And knowing he's been up against Suppy for a while, so I have to wonder how much he's prepared for this, especially considering he's no longer at WCS. This is the only tournament he's really focusing on right now.
I'm super curious to see which build we're going to see out of him as well. And I guess we're going to see a very cautious Suppy who's just going to rely on, hey, as long as this goes into super late game, I should be fine. I do think in general Hello Kitty is a lot less cheesy against Zerg than he is against Terran. Now, of course, it doesn't mean anything necessarily. We would still see some nasty 2-base or maybe even just 3-base timings, which are like semi-all-ins. But I know that like against Terran was just his weakest matchup in general. That's why if you're uncomfortable in a matchup, you often fall back to all-ins. But if he feels much more confident against Zerg, hey, he might actually not have to do that at all. We might just see him go for some straight-up macro play and have some cool builds.
Yeah, that would be great. Well, we're going to be giving these guys a short break once we set up the next game, get the interviews ready to rock and roll. And we will be right back, folks. You're currently watching SHOUTcraft America. Kane, the first guy to make his way to the winners' finals. Who will join him? Will it be Suppy or Hello Kitty? We'll be right back after this. These guys are so pro. Welcome back to SHOUTcraft, and this, of course, will be the second match. We already have Kane going through 2-0 against Masa. I am here with these two, Suppy and Hello Kitty. Suppy, good morning. Welcome.
Hello.
How are you feeling, man? I think the last couple of days you've got quite a lot of attention.
It's been pretty good. I'm a little bit, I had to study for finals after that, so like I haven't been able to prepare as much as I wanted to for this tournament. So we'll see how it goes. But yeah, the past couple days have been pretty cool because I did well in my WCS group.
Yeah, you definitely did. And speaking of someone else who did well, Hello Kitty, you actually surprised a lot of people in WCS by taking down Heart. How are you feeling?
I'm feeling good. I actually prepared quite a few builds for Suppy that I didn't get to use because I thought he was going to go, 0-2 versus Heart, and then I just 2 him real quick, and then actually made out the group, but get to use it today.
Ah, nice. Now, Hello Kitty, you have been accused by some people of being a little bit of a cheesy player, and some people have said, however, that your secret weapon is when you build a second Nexus. Now, how would you respond to that?
Actually, I don't use a lot of macro builds on ladder because I save them for tournaments. So people always accuse me of crappy macro, even though it's actually my specialty.
It's interesting to hear that as well, actually, because that's what we heard from Drunken Boy, who yesterday went through his group 4-0, playing pretty much nothing but macro, when we've only really been seeing him do one-base builds. So, yeah, it wouldn't surprise me one little bit if that's the case. So that makes this really interesting. Now, Suppy, do you feel that now you're considered by a lot of people to actually be one of the top American players? Do you feel that that means you get a lot of scrutiny, that a lot of players are looking to make a name for themselves by taking you out?
Yeah, I definitely think so. I mean, I've gotten a lot of publicity like the past couple days, so if I get destroyed in this group, it would definitely look really good for whoever did take me out. So, and I'd be pretty sad myself, but I definitely think that's true.
So, Hello Kitty, how confident are you feeling here? Because, unfortunately, you did fall down to WCS Challenger, but you have had time to prepare for this tournament. You've known who your opponent was for quite some time. So, does Suppy intimidate you in any way?
No, I mean, I actually went out and got really wasted, so I'm pretty hungover. I should be able to easy Conan 2-0 pretty easily.
Oh, Suppy, seriously. You're the hard-working, preppy college guy. There's no way you would go out and get wasted before a tournament, surely.
I mean, I didn't even prepare for this match at all. Like in WCS, I didn't prepare. I only prepared ZBT really, and I just got out of bed. I've been studying all day, so like I don't know. This should be pretty easy for me.
Yeah, just don't make me dance my stalkers in front of your base, like I did to Idra.
Ooh, well, we know what happened then. Yeah, that was a pretty bad effect there. You should never have done that, man. You're ruining teams, Hello Kitty. You're a destructive individual. All right, so any final words, Suppy, for your opponent before we go into the match today and start? We're going to start on Accolon Wastes here.
You're going down, man. Let me see. Oh shoot, never mind.
You want to say something in Chinese to me?
No.
We're okay with the Chinese BM, by the way, if you want to lay it on down.
Okay.
Well, I need.
What are you trying to say? 你小心我把你菊花做了 ，OK?
Oh my god, stop being pervert.
Oh, this is the best BM ever, and I have no idea what it even says. Hello Kitty, Suppy, alright, thank you very much. Get to your stations, prepare for your match, put on a great show. I'm sure it will be absolutely phenomenal. Oh man, that was a thing. That was a thing that... I have no idea what they said, but I have a feeling that if we had our Chinese cast today, they would be highly offended.
That was so funny. I laughed out loud. It always just sounds so much more intimidating if it's in a language that you don't speak. It's like when Nanima was on stage in DreamHack and they asked him like, say something in Swedish. Like the entire internet was just like, oh my god.
What is it? What is it? And it was like the most mundane thing ever.
Yeah, I know. It was just like, I'll try to do my best. I hope I can win. I can't promise, but yeah, thank you. And everyone's like, oh my god, what did you say about Linux family? It's like, nothing, guys.
Yeah, it's like, what? No, I didn't mean any of those things. That's crazy. Oh man,
that was fun. Those guys are really fun, man.
Yeah, they definitely are. And I'd love to show you the versus screen, but it just broke, so we're not going to be showing you that anytime soon. But Hello Kitty versus Suppy. again, Suppy is in a really great spot right now in terms of his reputation, in terms of basically, I now you would say easily, without question, he's the, I don't know, man. Considering Stefano's recent lack of results, would you actually say that he might be the strongest Zerg, foreign Zerg anyway, on EGO? Is that still a very controversial statement?
Yeah, I don't think we can put him above Stefano yet, even though he's been playing really well. We haven't seen all that much from Ilias. I mean, Stefano played at DreamHack. He still did reasonably well. He made it to the round of 16, then he lost in the ZVZ against Coca. You know, there's no shame in that. That could happen to anyone. Not. So it is hard to say that, but what we can say safely is that Suppy is without a doubt one of the best Zergs in North America. Kane is very good. Scarlet, of course, is extremely good, and Idra is still damn good as well. But he's definitely up there, man, and that already means quite something.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's interesting to see what's going on with them, I've got to say. Suppy is just, there we go. Suppy picks his big EG logo. Hello Kitty, of course, is teamless, so this is going to be interesting to watch. He will not have a logo. I think honestly,
get him a Hello Kitty logo.
Yeah, if we get through, I'm going to ask for the Gameheart guys for the round of 8 to actually put a big Hello Kitty logo in Gameheart. That I think would be great.
I think it would be one of the most popular logos. I think you just picked a Falcon.
You can't pick 4 kings. What the hell? You're not an FPS player. Get out. All right, here we go. I have a feeling, especially like in the last group, we're going to be seeing a lot of guys just like randomly pick weird team logos for no good reason, because we actually have a lot of teamless guys in the Group D. But okay, they're already at it, man. Seriously, I don't know what was said in Chinese, but apparently it really fired them up. So these guys are rocking and rolling already. So, ladies and gentlemen, to the southeast of Akalon Wastes, in the red trunks, playing Zerg, the man from America, America's last hope against the Korean invasion. It is
Evil Geniuses Suppy.
Yes, and that Superior Wolf has been rocking it lately, I've got to say. But he's up against the ever-unpredictable fellow, currently teamless, but put on a great showing in WCS North America Premier League. In the blue trunks, playing Protoss to the northwest, it is
Hello Kitty.
Now, I've got to say that Clutch actually did the first set of voices for me, and I was like, we need a bit more. We need a bit more hype in there. But what I did keep from his first voice set was the Hello Kitty one, because it was said with such disdain. It was just like, Hello Kitty. It was just like, I've got to use that. That's
I was literally about to say, like, I'm actually really sad that I can't hear it, because also the first time you did that, I was like, what? Like, you were all silent. I was like, was this supposed to be me, like, announcing the player?
No,
like,
I forgot to tell you. I'm such a noob. I'm so sorry.
No worries. But I actually really wonder how it sounds, and certainly the Hello Kitty one. If I was Clutch, I would have totally gone for, like, the Asian girl accent. Hello Kitty!
Hello Kitty, konnichiwa!
I think that would have been awesome.
I can't honestly imagine that happening. Like, not with him. He's too much of an all-American manly man, I think, to really pull that off.
Oh, you should have seen him in Six Flags, man. He wasn't all that manly.
Oh, okay. You got stories to share, or are you gonna respect the privacy of your coworker?
Yeah. I'm gonna let the legacy of Clutch being a manly man live. But he was a little afraid for a couple of rides. Let's put it like that.
Oh man. Okay, we're gonna see Gateway coming out here. Cybercorp. Nothing's proxied yet, so currently these guys are actually commentating the game for us. So I don't think we really need to speak.
I was actually paying attention to the chat, but that is kind of cool. I'm super curious to see what we are going to see, man. I'm also not very familiar with Suppy's ZVP. Suppy does stream every now and then, but he always streams when I'm not able to watch it, which makes me sad because he's a really entertaining streamer as well, just because he's always so happy. So you're kind of getting happy of just watching him, you know? Like if you have a rough day, it's just like, oh, Suppy is streaming. Let's be really happy now because he's so happy too. Oh, what's happening? Okay, nothing. For a second I thought I was lagging. I was like, the college suddenly changed. Did you notice that as well?
Not for me. Did you accidentally hit a hotkey?
I guess I did. Because I went to like those super, yeah, how to say it? Like colors that really stand out, you know? It's like super bright red, super bright blue.
Yeah, you can do stuff like that. I don't... Oh, did it... Hang on a second. Yeah, this is... What the... Did you do that? Did you manage to do that, or was that someone else that did it? Because now we're actually on the super bright colors.
Yeah, see, Suppy has it too, and Hello Kitty
Who
as well.
did that? Which commentator? Turn it off now.
Well, I didn't do that.
It wasn't. Yeah, the thing is, we've got the foreign language casters here. I think one of them did it.
Oh, they probably can't understand this. They're like, what?
So PM. God. Oh, man.
I have no idea how to even do that.
No, I don't either. I knew that it was a feature of this map, but I don't turn it on. Generally speaking, because it's kind of distracting, and also apparently, like, makes the game go slower. So, I don't know who switched it on, but we'll have to find out after the show. There we go, it's off again.
Alright, taking a close look at the game right now, because of course we do have a game going on, boys, and we see a lot of gateways, a lot of chrono boost being spent on that cybernetics core.
Yep.
And we're going to go up to 5 gateways already. He's probably going to use the mothership core to scare away those links, because right now we do not have a single probe out on the map. And I'm sure that he would love to get a pylon up somewhere near that turret base, especially on the high ground. But hey, he's still going to have to sneak a probe around the map without Soppy scouting it, and so far that's working.
Yeah, he can put one up here. This one works fairly well. I like this as a location, but obviously it's not that close. It's a good place to kind of put a backup pylon, because you can warp onto the low ground there. It's a little bit more difficult to take out. Soppy, of course, doesn't know that it's there. Lings don't have hearing. They don't actually have ears, so he didn't hear the pylon go down.
This is extremely low economy, by the way, Totalbiscuit. We're only on 29 probes right now, and obviously the chrono boost has been spent on the cybernetics core, not on probes. 4 sentries and a zealot do not give away all that much, but I can only imagine that Soppy starts making units real soon, but he still doesn't see anything. Oh my god, those 2 links are gonna scout it. Okay, he is making roaches, but ooh, he's gonna have to deal with a lot of gateway units, but this is a massive scout already. Now he knows for sure.
Yeah,
I would love to point out as well, sorry Totalbiscuit, one last thing. Love to point out that he waited a long time by spending his larva. So that's nice at least. Ooh, is the hallucination being used as well? Man, this is gonna be crazy.
Yeah, this is nuts. You got hallucinated zealots in here as well, which is unusual to say the least. Simply because you're like, well, usually you'd use that for force fields, right? But no, he actually used a few hallucinations, drives this away. This is a pretty good push. Time warp goes down as well, and I think Soppy did see the chrono boost on the 2 gateways at the front, but I don't think that gave him enough of a tell. And this is really aggressive right here. Will Soppy be able to hold on? There's so little. In terms of his defense, he's trying to hold on here with roaches, bringing in more lings. I'm a bit worried about these sentries. They don't have a lot of energy left. Admittedly, he is fighting in a time warp, which is a great place to do it.